Defense Cheney. And Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Colin Powell. I see two presidents who are famous for their leadership and patriotism. President Gerald R. Ford and President Ronald Reagan. And now, another president who has made America stand tall. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and Mrs. Bush. We're all gathered here today on a doubly joyous occasion, the welcoming home of the troops and the celebration of an anniversary, because this year marks the 50th anniversary of the USO, an organization that has always been there to supply a touch of home to the men and women who were called away to defend the cause of freedom. In 1941, President Roosevelt decided there was a definite need for a group to coordinate relations between the military and local communities and supply entertainment for the members of the armed forces. He turned to leaders of commerce and industry to fund this huge undertaking, and one of the first men that he approached was Prescott Bush, who raised $32 million to get the USO off and running. Well, that was not Prescott Bush's only contribution to his country. He also gave us a son, who became the 41st President of the United States. And now, I think there's only one man who could possibly follow three presidents, one Secretary of Defense, a four-star general, the chairman of the board, Mr. Frank Sinatra. About 45 years ago, you sang a song in a film that won an Oscar, and tonight we've gotten 3 requests for it.
Well, I'd do it if we only had one request.
Well, we got one from that president and that president and this president right here.
I'd be delighted to sing it for
Well,
you.
sing, Francis.
Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. What is America to me? A name a map or a flag I see, a certain word, democracy. What is America to me? The house I live in, a plot of earth, a street, grocer and the butcher, and the people that I meet, the children in the playground, faces that I see, all races and religions. That's America to me. The place I work in, the worker by my side, the little town or city where my people lived and died, the howdy and the handshake, the air of feeling free, and the right to speak your mind out. That's America to me. The things I see about me, the big things and the small, the little corner newsstand or a house a mile tall, the wedding and the churchyard, and the cheers, and the dream that's been a-growing for 190 years. The town I live in, the street, the house, the room, the pavement of the cities, or a garden all in bloom, the church, the school, the playhouse, bright lights I see, but especially the people. That's America to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our welcome home will continue with Tony Danza and the Pointer Sisters.
You took a stand for all we stand for. You gave your hand when it was asked for. Oh, you are the ones who lifted us. You are the ones who kept the trust. You're the ones whose gift we must recall. We hear the tears. ones we thank you all.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
A game of catch on a warm summer's afternoon. The renewal of a long-lost friendship. Planting and piano lessons. A good old-fashioned wedding. These are some of the things America is coming back to. Simpler things. The kind of values that last. So maybe it's no coincidence that people are coming back to American cars. Or that last year, over 380,000 import owners rediscovered America and came back to Chrysler. Some came for the ride, some for the quality of craftsmanship, but mostly they came for the kind of solid values you can't find anywhere else in the world. Sometimes you have to leave home to appreciate how good it really is. Chrysler would like to say, welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the first entertainers to visit our troops in the Gulf, Victoria Tennant.
Thank you. Last October, I went to Saudi Arabia with my husband, Steve Martin, to meet the troops, to shake their hands, talk to them a while, show the men and women of Desert Shield that we cared about them back home. I found myself in a CH-46 Hilo in 110 degrees heat, flying into the desert for what they call a grin and grit trip.
What we're here for is a little grip and grin. We're going to walk by, shake your head and grin at you, and it's supposed to make you feel good. I don't know. I'm sure it will. You know, when you think about it, you guys are digging that ditch, you'll be going, you know, I hate this, but since Steve is there...
It wasn't possible to do a real show, but Steve still managed to get a few laughs.
We rode over here on the plane with about 40 other troops, and telling you have no problem with chemical warfare with these guys. They got enough gas. One guy sitting next to the guy in the plane, he said, hey, mind if I smoke? I said, no, you mind if I...
Anyway, we were happy to meet as many of the troops as we could. We were given DBDUs, desert battle dress uniforms, and every stop we made, men gave us their patches, insignias, and badges to remember them by. Every night I would crawl into bed and sew them onto my uniform while Steve was asleep, before conking out myself. The desert has its charm, but it was good to see the Persian Gulf when we went to visit the Navy.
How many men does it take to row one of these things? A lot. How long are you enlisted for, sir? I'm enlisted for another 4 hours, actually. That's a pretty good deal. Hello, men of the USS Wisconsin. We're here visiting from the United States, and we've had a fantastic tour so far, meeting everyone. We've been in the desert, now we've been on the sea, and everyone's in great spirits out there, and I gotta tell you, this is the hottest place we've been. It's hotter than the desert, so I gotta hand it to you. 3 cheers for Steve and Victoria.
I'd like to thank all the troops we met for their generosity and kindness. In the midst of this tragedy, I met a lot of decent men and women I shall never forget. And I thank the USO for an extraordinary experience. The USO has been around for 50 years. 3 women who are considerably younger know what it's like to entertain the most appreciative audiences in the world. They were one of the first acts to play for the troops in the Gulf, and they're with us today to give us a little musical retrospective of the sounds that kept the troops happy over the years. Here they are, the Pointer Sisters.
Please let me explain. By mill bills to shame means that you're grand. By mill bills to shame, it's such an old refrain, and yet I should explain. It means I am begging for your hand. I could say sailor, sailor, you could say on the rock, language only helps me tell. chain. So kiss me and say you'll understand. You ain't been blue. No, no, no. You ain't been blue till you had that mood indigo. That feeling goes stealing down, down to my shoes, while I sit and sigh. Go on, blue. Ain't got the change of a nickel. Go on, blue. Ain't got no bound in my shoes. Go on, blue. Ain't got no fancy to tickle. Ain't got nothing but blue. Yeah. Ain't got no air in my blood. Ain't got nothing but the blue. Ain't got no feelings to breathe. I ain't got nothing but love. I ain't got nothing but the blue. I ain't got nothing but the blue. Oh yeah. Thank you. That's right. Hurry up, dig a little pony, I know. Say that's so. Then hurry up, dig a little pony will blow. Ride, 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 please blow. When the pretty one feels so sweet. Say that's so. Get him going, steady, what a wonderful feat. Ride, ride, ride. Giddy up, 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 once more. Then dig till it breaks and away. Hurry up, dig a little pony, I know. Say that's so. Then hurry up, dig a little pony will blow. Ride, ride, ride. Go, Rosie, go, Rosie, go, Rosie, go, Rosie. A little bit of this way, perhaps, but we'll get up like this is anywhere. Ride, pony, ride. That's me. Die, well, and die. I like to be well, and die. When you time to give it to the world. Let's go. Pony, go. Let's go. Put me in the know. I want to put you in the know. Wiggin' what way you dig it out here. Can help me. That'll play a wee. Could be, but could be. We love you. Thank you.
You're welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you. There's hardly a person who was in uniform over the past 50 years who doesn't have fond memories of a USO troop coming to entertain their outfit.
They love anything from home and sure appreciate talent, no matter how young or how old it is.
Yes, and since these youngsters couldn't leave school to go entertain the troops overseas, we brought the troops to them today, and we know you're going to love them just as much as the audience did week after week on Star Search.
Oh, say hello to the stars of the future.
4 boys and a babe.
Stay tuned for Tony Danza and Roger Moore.
Some people drive miles out of their way to buy what they think is the best dog or cat food. But the fact is, this is all you have to drive. Because you don't have to go further than your supermarket for high-quality nutrition. Just stop at the Purina One Pet Nutrition Center. You'll find a whole new line of Purina One brand dog and cat foods for every stage of your pet's life. To me, there's nothing better than Purina One.
Purina One, second to none. Now for your dog and cat. Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Snap's Provolone's daughter is living it up.
Your daughter and I are lovers.
And did he tell you I was pregnant?
And he'll never live it down.
I just came from Lisa's bedroom.
You and everybody else. Sylvester Stallone, Oscar, rated PG. Starts Friday, April 26th.
Today, there's important news on women's health. A woman's body can go through a lot. Any gynecologist will tell you. Becoming a woman, childbirth, vaginal yeast infections. It's important that now most women can cure their own recurrent vaginal yeast infections. Gynolotrin, prescribed millions of times by gynecologists, has just become available without a prescription, full strength, so women can immediately begin their cure. Gynolotrin brings early treatment, early cure. Gynolotrin.
CCBY presents the Sundays. Sensational frozen yogurt Sundays for only 99 cents. The Sundays at CCBY.
Monday.
You killed him. 20 years of breathing in your smoke.
James Woods.
You killed me.
John Lithgow.
I kill you.
They were friends to the end. The Boys, Monday.
Excuse us, we were looking for Dodger Stadium.
Welcome Home America will continue in a moment.
Thursday, test your environmental IQ with the stars. Which item should never be thrown down the sink? Food waste, rubbing alcohol, paint thinner, or boric acid. Find out on a user's guide to planet Earth, the American Environment Test Thursday.
This is one of the best little rest stops in Mississippi. It's a saltwater wetland, the kind of place nature might have made. A good spot to drop in, grab a bite, or just sit a spell. It was made by people who work in the nearby refinery. Do people need to create places so nature can spread its wings? People do.
Who's introducing delightfully creamy frozen yogurt that's non-fat, cholesterol-free? Dairy Queen. New frozen yogurt blended fresh with your choice of fruit or chocolate. Or the Breeze frozen yogurt treat with your choice of our famous blizzard flavors. New, delicious, non-fat, blended fresh frozen yogurt. You just gotta try some. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
Cooler days ahead, the forecast at 11.
Please welcome the star of Who's the Boss, Mr. Tony Danza.
I'm really glad to be here because, you know, when I look out there and I see you, I get a real sense of pride. That's right. You guys are the very best at what you do. And there's someone else in the audience who's the very best at what he did. And they called him the greatest. And I'll fight anybody in the audience that says he isn't. And looking around, I'll probably lose a few. But anyway, here he is, the champ, Mr. Muhammad Ali. You know, for every Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, for every Jay Leno and Marilyn Monroe, for every Al Jolson and Brooke Shields, there were hundreds of lesser-known performers who passed up the comforts of home and went in small, self-contained units to entertain the troops. Now, the GIs, the sailors, the airmen, the Marines, and the Coast Guard, hey. Now, they were happy to see these units arrive, you know, on their little slice of territory. And, of course, you guys were all a great audience. And you appreciated everything, but if the truth were to be told, they did sort of favor the girls. I mean, they just loved to look at them, to be near them, and if the girls could do a little dance or sing, well, that was the icing on the cake. Well, here are a few cupcakes that will show you their icing in a patriotic tap number, saluting one of America's proudest flag wavers, Mr. George M. Cohan. Ladies, take it away.
Up next, Roger Moore and Tony Orlando.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
A game of catch on a warm summer's afternoon. The renewal of a long-lost friendship. Planting and piano lessons. A good old-fashioned wedding. These are some of the things America is coming back to. Simpler things. The kind of values that last. So maybe it's no coincidence that people are coming back to American cars. Or that last year, over 380,000 import owners rediscovered America and came back to Chrysler. Some came for the ride, some for the quality of craftsmanship, but mostly they came for the kind of solid values you can't find anywhere else in the world. Sometimes you have to leave home to appreciate how good it really is. Chrysler would like to say, welcome back.
It's a tradition as old as the land itself. Your country calls, and you come. Your country asks you to give, and you give. And you do it all because you believe in your country. So to all the men and women who serve, Budweiser is proud to return your salute.
After being voted best value in America, Little Caesar wanted to thank you personally.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey, beautiful toga.
The entertainment's here.
Thank you, thank you.
A gladiator.
From Little Caesars, 2 pizzas with 90% more pepperoni and free crazy bread, all for $6.99.
Thank you, thank you.
Tuesday, Tony invades the world of rap on Who's the Boss. Then,
Great kid.
Hey, great taste.
Baby Talk moves to its new night and time. Then Becky rebels and Roseanne takes the heat.
It's her first obscene gesture.
Roseanne.
Her father and I are just so proud.
Then from the guy who gave you Barney Miller.
X-ray!
Hey! Be a pleasure seeing through you, man.
Stat, it'll keep you in stitches.
It's just an expression.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Moore.
Thank you. During the past year, the eyes of the world have been focused on the situation in the Gulf. It was an emotional time for everyone concerned. Tears are one of the few things in life that can express both ends of the spectrum of feelings. There are tears of sadness that are shed when families are separated, and tears of joy when they're reunited.
Great, so soft.
Scenes like this one are being played out in many parts of this country, as well as England, France, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Italy. The one common thread that binds all these families together is the feeling of indescribable joy and relief on the faces and in the hearts of all the participants. This is a story about one reunion that took place recently in Jacksonville, Florida, with the arrival of the USS Saratoga after 8 months of duty in the Persian Gulf.
We're trying to get right here. That's what you want right there. Said about tomorrow, we'll be able to do it right.
From here, that's where we want to go, the United States of America.
It's only about 230 miles over. We're going to get there.
I hope my wife and kids will be winning the beer. It will really make me happy.
So I'm going to love America a little bit more because America was good to us while we were out here. Oh, no, I probably couldn't kiss the ground if you so happy to be back on American turf.
I'm packed. When that ship pulls in, I'm charging. These people better get out of my way. That's all there is to it.
He was on the ferry that overturned, so we're real excited that he's coming home now. I'm nervous. I have a headache because, it's like you don't know what to expect.
It was only hours away now before the families of the USS Saratoga would reunite. The excitement of this day, March the 28th, 1991, began with loved ones arriving on the pier long before sunrise.
It's cold out here, but we're making it.
The way to say welcome home, Dad.
They miss you.
The harbor lights were shining, the moon was in its high. The captain said, thank God we're home, we've drunk the barrels dry. The mizzenmast was shaken, and the lanterns all burned low. I never thought we'd make it, but we've 20 leagues to go. So blow you southern trades and guide me safely to the shore. I'm never ever gonna sail the 7 seas no more.
Say hello to my family back home, my girlfriend Becky.
Oh, gonna miss the sand in my hair, oh, the tide and the sun in the air. Deep inside it's true, I'm a home-loving man coming out home to you. I know I'm gonna miss the wind in my eyes, shimmering light from the seagull flies.
your birthday also.
One of the USO's favorite entertainers, Tony Orlando.
Thank you, and Mr. President, thank you for those homecomings. There's nothing quite more moving than what we just saw on that tape. You know, the notion that great ideas start with something big. Actually, they start with very simple ideas. A number of years ago, I had the pleasure of recording a song that became the start of a national outpouring of love and remembrance for Americans who had been separated from their families. The song was called Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree. All over the USA, there are yellow ribbons on trees, on doors, on cars. They're tied as far as your eyes can see. And these ribbons will remain until the last American returns home. And I'm proud. I'm proud to be able to sing the song that started it all, but we're going to do it like an old-fashioned sing-along. This is Celebration Welcome Home Yellow Ribbon here tonight. Come on, hands together. Good old-fashioned hand clapping. Sing the song with me. Let's do it. I'm coming home, I've done my time. I've got to know what is and isn't mine. If you receive my letter telling you I'd soon be free, then you'll know just what to do if you still want me. If you still want me. Why wait? Come on, let's do it again. Set tie a yellow ribbon round the old tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon around the old tree, I'm gonna stay on the bus. Forget about us. Put the blame on me. If I don't see that yellow ribbon around the old tree. Hello, Guy Hunter. Yes, yes, I hear that. Bus driver, please look for me. 'Cause I couldn't bear to see what I might see. You know I'm really still in prison, and my luck, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set me free. I wrote, I told her, okay, from the heart to the back, go ahead, say it. Around the old tree, it's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see your ribbon round the old tree, I'm gonna stay on the bus and forget about us. If I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old tree. Yeah, you ready? Hands together. All of this. Okay. Here's the part. While the whole wide world is cheering. Yes. 'Cause they can't believe they see 200 million yellow ribbons round the old tree. They're coming home. Oh yeah. Oh, keep on trying. Don't stop trying. Come on, together. Set tie 100 beautiful ribbons, beautiful ribbons. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Welcome home and God bless you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Welcome home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Russell.
Mr. President, Mr. President, and you too, Mr. President. Honored members of the military, members of the Democratic Party, both of you. Ladies and gentlemen, back in 1974, this country was going through another difficult time of a different nature. The vice president at the time, Gerald Ford, assumed the presidency when his predecessor was forced to resign in that terrible time called Watergate. Well, the new president soon proved to be just the leader that we needed to pull us out of that national nightmare with dignity, grace, and a gentle humor. Ladies and gentlemen, the 38th President of the United States, Gerald R. Ford.
Thank you very, very much, Mark. Just like the USA, the USO had its founding fathers, too. In addition to the president's father, Prescott Bush, a few names stand out today. Thomas Watson, Alfred Sloan, the showman Billy Rose, even Thomas Dewey headed the fund drive, and that famous talent agent, Abe Lasfogo, recruited the soldiers in grease paint to entertain the troops. The USO is founded by donations from the private individuals as well as major supporters like Coca-Cola, AT&T, and Anheuser-Busch. The NFL has made significant contributions to the good work of the USO. During World War II, audiences totaling more than 220 million saw shows put on by the USO. The tradition has been carried on during the Korean conflict, Vietnam, and Desert Storm, and also during the periods of peace in between. That's where the USO really comes alive. And the grateful thanks of those countless millions who know what it's like to knock on the door and find the USO is always home. Thank you.
Our welcome home will continue with Lee Greenwood as Arnold Schwartzeneger.
In art, matters of taste are often subjective, but in life, good taste is well defined. Fancy Feast gourmet cat food in the bold single-serving can. Exceptionally moist, uniquely delicious. For a gourmet taste to satisfy even the most discriminating connoisseurs. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
For so many years now, Tylenol and all the products that carry the Tylenol name have been there. Because caring isn't just what we do, it's who we are.
Someone to watch over me. The real thing, talking about the real thing. It's a real look, my friend, a smile you want to see forever. Coca-Cola Classic, the can't be the real
command. They're working now, but they're thinking how they love and lots of wholesome brands. They're turning back again for 2 scoops of plum juicy raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
This war was supposed to be over in 3 months.
Beyond the battlefields and the speeches,
I have to get north. My brother got wounded at Gettysburg.
one boy tries to reunite his family
Your mom know where you are.
as one man tries to reunite the country.
Do you know I can find the lawyer?
I used to practice law in a small way.
Catherine Hellman, Campbell Scott, Lucas Haas, and Jason Robards in The Perfect Tribute next Sunday.
Welcome home, America will return in a moment.
Tuesday,
Great kid. Hey, great taste.
Mickey and his mom move to a new night in time where there's love in the air.
Attention all units. Red alert. We have a possible daddy in progress.
Baby Talk moves to Tuesday right after Who's the Boss?
This is ABC.
The hottest ticket in town. I'm Herb Cawthorn. The Lotto jackpot is expected to grow to an incredible amount. It could reach $100 million. Also, a Soviet scientist who once worked at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant makes a startling claim. We'll have the details. Plus, Michael Tuck is fuming over a flyer circulating around L.A. See you at 11.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure, all right.
Which beer would you rather try?
The dark one. This one, Your Honor.
Here's Budweiser, and this is Coors Extra Gold.
Really? All right.
Want to know something else?
What's that?
58% of Bud drinkers prefer Coors Extra Gold in an independent taste test.
Makes sense to me.
Coors Extra Gold, slow brewed for that real beer flavor and real beer color, the way beer was meant to be. So what are you going to do?
Gonna switch.
Coors Extra Gold, no doubt about it, beer is back.
There's no doubt about it.
Hey, it's time to rediscover American values with big factory cashback at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers. In spite of all the excitement, I'm staying calm. Acclaim, what a terrific value. It's thousands less than Accord, and it's got an airbag and great mileage. Can you believe a New Yorker starts this low? Save $1,200 here, or get the lowest price car with an airbag. Hey, I'm calm. Really, I'm calm. So I'm telling you, come on in.
Can secondhand smoke kill you? On the next Oprah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of Defense, Richard Cheney.
Thank you. Thank you. There is a saying in the military, Army life is measured in hours, weeks, and months of boredom, interrupted by moments of sheer terror. A lot of our young people were heroic during these moments. Private Frank Bradish was one who will never forget his moment of truth. When U.S. forces were charging across Iraq on the heels of the Republican Guard, Private Frank Bradish was in Bradley fighting vehicle with 4 buddies. Suddenly, they were hit by a shell from an Iraqi tank. The round shattered the inside of the Bradley and severely injured the 5 Americans. One by one, Private Bradish dragged his 4 buddies out of the burning tank and laid them on the sand out of harm's way.
Well, I thought I was already dying because I thought I got hit in the main arteries in the legs. And when those go out, you don't have very much of a chance, especially where we were. So, I said, well, if I'm going out, might as well help them out.
Frank found a flare to call the medics, but he couldn't open it with his injured hands, so he bit off the top. When the other members of the Army unit came on the scene, Private Bradish was back inside trying to drag out the heavy belts of machine gun bullets lest they explode and shoot up his mates.
If I'm a modern-day hero, then, I guess I am what I am, as Popeye would say, but, I don't know what to think about it, because, I don't see what I did as a heroic deed. It's just something I had to do. It was a Call of Duty, and the Call of Duty says, once you're wounded, your Call of Duty ends. It doesn't say that. It says, Call of Duty is until you're dead.
Private Frank Bradish comes from Pocatello, Idaho. He grew up on a homestead in the Fort Knox Valley.
and Frank's mom is justifiably proud of her son.
I'm very proud of him, and I think it shows that his concern for his fellow man comes out over everything else.
At 21, Private Frank Bradish is truly an American hero.
You know, he couldn't have done it if, you know, we didn't have American support like the any service member mail and stuff. You know, it helped morale out a lot and that kind of stuff for the troops that were over there. And, you know, some people met some people through that, and, you know, it just helps the morale out. So the American people had a lot to do with the victory.
In Idaho East, I just think we should be really proud of the job the military did.
We ask Frank to say something to us on the 50th anniversary of the USO.
Happy 50th anniversary, USO.
Here's one of the young American heroes that we're all so proud of, Private Frank Bradish.
Please welcome a true friend of the USO, Mr. John Forsythe.
Nearly a century ago, a man who led a most adventurous life stood before the people who had elected him President of the United States. And he told of the philosophy that had taken him to that pinnacle of leadership. It is as fresh and applicable today as it was when Teddy Roosevelt first delivered these inspirational words. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or how the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with the cold and timid souls who know neither victory or defeat. In a recent interview on 2020, Barbara Walters asked General Schwarzkopf what he did the night before the invasion. This was his answer.
Chaplain was there. Had the chaplain say a little prayer for the protection of our servicemen and women. And then we played Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA. And we did. Anybody who knows me knows that I love that song. But that was sort of what it was all about. And then we just said, okay, now let's go to work.
Well, no entertainer has ever had a better introduction than that. Here's the man who wrote and first performed God Bless the USA, Mr. Lee Greenwood.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from the sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Love is flying in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'm glad we stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Do you feel the pride? Our servicemen and women are with us here tonight and are out there at home along with the rest of the nation watching this tribute to our champions of freedom. And this may be a little awkward, but I want everybody at home to see some more of the faces of tonight's audience. Sing it with me. Guys, one more time, would you please? Help me. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Come on, y'all. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Stay tuned for Bob Hope and Sandy Patty.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I'd give to you.
At Anheuser-Busch, it's the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family's beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Somebody still cares about quality.
Because I color my hair, how I take care of it makes an incredible difference.
Now I have L'Oreal's discovery. Color Vive Technicare Conditioner. It has an ultraviolet filter that protects and cares for my hair, so my color stays truer, longer. Color Vive Technicare gives me the special care I need to keep my color alive. Color Vive Technicare by L'Oreal. And I'm worth it.
For all the places and all the faces that are a part of you, AT&T brings you the Reach Out America plan. With more ways to save than anyone else. No matter who or when or where you call. So long distance feels like no distance. For savings and quality across every mile, we'll help you find the plan that works for you. AT&T, all you need to reach out.
What Barney Miller did for cops, Stat does for doctors.
Everyone says that you are the best.
The guy who gave you Barney Miller...
He's going to kill her.
...shows you a new place to find comedy.
Gus, we've had you admitted.
In this hospital? Stat.
Tuesday, presenting tomorrow's biggest star. Dinosaurs, the next big thing, premieres Friday, April 26th.
A wise man once said, there are no atheists in foxholes. Throughout the ages, the military has always acknowledged the need for spiritual guidance and comfort during times of trouble. Our next guest is a 5-time Grammy Award winner who has always included the higher forces in her performance. We are proud to welcome her today to help welcome home the troops. Here with the voices of L.A., Miss Sandy Patty.
Never was the world in such a need of peace, and never has contentment been so hard to find. So many men reaching out their hands, our brothers and sisters in so many lands. If ever kindness was needed, then it's crying out to us. The time is now. I want the peace, I want the love for all the world. People of joy, the children of hope for all the world. Father of light, I will be the light that you shine through. 'Cause you are the peace and you are the hope for the world. What's it gonna take before we show some charity, compassion and mercy the way it's meant to be? Who'll take the time for the ones who truly need and pray for a nation that's out on the street? What man is greater than his brother? But in Jesus' eyes, we're all the same.
ladies and gentlemen, Alan Thicke.
Thank you very much. You know, the USO in this half-century of supplying the recreational and entertainment needs of our armed forces has been responsible for thousands upon thousands of shows. The enlisted men would whistle at the girls and applaud the singers, but most of all, they loved to laugh, particularly when the laughs came at the expense of the officers. I'm sure they didn't mean that. Laughing at the military, as well as what goes on at home, has always been surefire stuff for the comic. Carrying on now in that noble tradition is our next guest. He's a Vietnam vet and observer of the foibles of humanity, Mr. Blake Clark.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Blake Clark. I'm very honored to be here. I tell you, I'm a little nervous because the last time I was around this many officers, they made us invade Laos. But I was born and raised in Georgia, and I fought in Vietnam. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Born and raised in Macon, Georgia, and I fought in Vietnam. That's kind of like being punished for the same thing twice. In fact, I used to have flashbacks in Vietnam. But Georgia's a fine state. I love Georgia, and I know they feel the way I do, that, hey, it's nice to win one. You guys were absolutely superb. But you gotta admit now, you had some good hardware, didn't you? Those smart bombs and cruise missiles and stealth bombers. That's that invisible bomber. The ones they kept showing us pictures of. An invisible bomber, what a great concept. I wish I could have been at the Defense Department when the people sold them that idea. Oh, yes, sir, there's 30 of them. Right over there. You write us a check. You write us a check and come back tomorrow, we'll have 30 more for you. But the damn things work. See, we didn't have that kind of stuff in Vietnam. I think it's because maybe I don't know what the Army was thinking, but they used to, see, things were a little bit more basic. I'm not making this up now, they felt the necessity to print on the hand grenades, pull pin, throw away. I'm not making that up. Like somebody's gonna go, no, I'll keep this one here. Then, I'm not making this up. Then we had these things called Claymore mines. Remember those? Yes, okay, they're command detonated, one directional, command detonated mines. They blow steel balls out in one direction. And guys were always getting them turned around the wrong way and parting the hair in 15 or 20 different places. So the Army, to alleviate this, they put front on the front. But they didn't think this was enough. They had to further explain that. They said front toward enemy. Okay, all right, I got it now. And then on the back it had do not eat. On the back of a landmine. I don't know why, but having eaten sea rations for a year, I could understand why someone would be tempted to eat a landmine. We sent our troops to the Middle East to protect the American way of life, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I think we should start protecting the American way of life right here in America. Right? Yeah. But I am proud of what we accomplished over there. I'm proud of what you people accomplished over there, and I know that we're going to start tackling our domestic problems, like literacy. Mrs. Bush is right. We have to teach people to read. It's a real problem, yes. Yes, ma'am. It's a real problem in this wonderful country of ours. If you don't believe me, go to any convenience store in America. Ask them for change for $1. They actually have signs behind the counter says, manager cannot open safe. I ain't surprised. He can't ring up a pack of gum and make change for $1 either. Should be a whole wall, a list of things he can't do. Opening the safe would be a quantum leap for this guy. What I'm talking about, here's what I'm talking about. We're building all these sophisticated weapons, state-of-the-art, technologically advanced weapon systems. Well, you know, we could end up, if we don't teach people to read, we could end up with people like, that's right, I'm a nuclear missile technician. I work on nuclear missiles. I used to work at 7-Eleven, but I couldn't figure out the safe. Now, I work on nuclear missiles. I was working on this missile right here. Uh-oh. It was here a minute ago. I was working on it. I better figure out where that thing went. Let me see. I got hungry and wanted something to eat, so I pressed that red button marked lunch. Reading skills are important. Thank you. I just want to say one thing to the troops. Years from now, when the medals have tarnished and the ribbons are frayed, and the banners and flags are furled, and the parade drums and the cheering crowds are silent, you'll know this. You didn't just read about this in the paper. You didn't see it in a movie, and you didn't just watch it on television. You lived it. You lived it. Welcome home, brothers and sisters.
Up next, Bob Hope and Debbie Allen.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
A game of catch on a warm summer's afternoon. The renewal of a long-lost friendship. Planting and piano lessons. A good old-fashioned wedding. These are some of the things America is coming back to. Simpler things. The kind of values that last. So maybe it's no coincidence that people are coming back to American cars. Or that last year, over 380,000 import owners rediscovered America and came back to Chrysler. Some came for the ride, some for the quality of craftsmanship, but mostly they came for the kind of solid values you can't find anywhere else in the world. Sometimes you have to leave home to appreciate how good it really is. Chrysler would like to say, welcome back.
They take stuff, and they squish it all together.
Why the strange rumors about Tropicana Twister?
It's not squished. It's from a spring in France.
Tropicana Twister. Deliciously tempting flavor combinations Mother Nature never dreamed of. Wild flavors. Like orange, strawberry, banana.
Well, why don't you just put some broccoli in there?
Tropicana Twister. Flavors Mother Nature never intended, but should have.
And they make you drink it.
When Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, suddenly has a craving for his big new bacon mushroom melt, he'll drive any distance and face any obstacle to get one. Because it's a quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, and mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce, all on a toasted Kaiser bun. Wendy's new bacon mushroom melt.
Well, you gotta have one. You gotta have one.
Come in and try our bacon mushroom melt today, only at Wendy's.
In the year 2035, a man looks back on his life today in a dramatic new series.
I gotta get to the hospital. My wife's in labor.
Tom Shales calls it an enchanting latter-day wonder years. Premiering Wednesday, April 24th after Doogie Howser, MD, My Life and Times.
Welcome home, America. We'll continue in a moment.
Some schools are already distributing condoms. Will your town be next? The American Agenda. Watch Peter Jennings on ABC's World News Tonight this week.
This 10 News Update, sponsored in part by Dr. Leventhal Vision Centers.
The cliffs off Torrey Pines proved treacherous. I'm Herb Cawthorn. 3 people ran into big trouble after a nighttime excursion at Black's Beach. You'll see their dramatic rescue. Also, experts are trying to save the beautiful Italian Riviera. A tank loaded with 42 million gallons of crude oil could burst at the bottom of the Mediterranean. We'll have the latest details, plus thousands of people are burning the midnight oil for an important deadline. Join us for those stories and more on the Weekend Edition.
Dr. Leventhal's.
I really watch my hard-earned money.
Contacts, glasses, we make everything affordable.
On a budget? Visit Dr. Leventhal's.
Dr. Leventhal's look.
Most people think there are 2 ways to buy gasoline. Credit for convenience and cash for savings. But unlike some others, Chevron gives you convenience and good prices.
$12.15, sir. $12.15, sir.
For cash or credit. Not everyone has it. But at Chevron, there's just one price for one great gasoline. Chevron. We're with you all the way.
10 stands for San Diego.
You know, I think it's terrific the way all of you have been welcomed home by your family and your friends and by the entire country. But I also think this is a perfect time to once and for all welcome all the veterans who never received this kind of reception when they got home from Vietnam. One of the men who stood with the troops in that war has risen through the ranks to a point where there ain't much further to go. He is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Colin L. Powell.
Thank you all very much, and thank you, Tony. You know, in the military, there is a thing called ruffles and flourishes. It's that little musical theme you hear just before they announce the President of the United States or an admiral or a general. It's a mark of respect for the rank of the person being introduced. The President gets 4 ruffles and flourishes, and those of lesser rank get 1, 2, or 3. Unfortunately, there are no appropriate ruffles and flourishes for a legend or a citizen who is a professional dispenser of laughter. If there were, Bob Hope would be entitled to a whole slew of them. For his service to the USO alone, he has earned the respect of the nation. And in lieu of ruffles and flourishes, the sound of thanks for the memories has served as his signature.
Thanks from America to all our
You can't mention the USO without thinking of Bob Hope. It was back in 1941 at March Air Force Base when Bob first performed for the troops, and a half-century love affair began.
I'd be really nice too, wouldn't you?
Somebody's flat. Thank you. And don't you stare at me.
Hello, fellas. And hi, Bob. Say, have the FBI men found a steak yet?
Yes, it's backstage. But, Lana, this is dangerous. If this audience sees steak, they'll come right up here after it.
Oh, I don't know. They've seen ham all evening, and you're still here.
Some night.
Some night.
Some park.
Some park.
Some moon.
Some moon.
Some bench.
Some bench.
Some grass.
Some grass.
Some dew.
I don't.
Count on 1, 2, count on 3, 4.
when I heard about your lovemaking.
Oh, well, it's nothing.
That's what I heard.
Captain rides in a jeep. You're right. The sergeant rides in a truck. You're right. The general rides in a limousine, but we're just out of luck. You're right. Down dog. Down dog.
From Vietnam to Korea and all points around the globe, Bob Hope has created memories for millions of servicemen and women, including the troops in Saudi Arabia. Last week, he welcomed 300 Marines from Desert Storm to his Palm Springs home for lunch to celebrate their safe return. And the legend continues. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Hope.
I don't think you remember me, but I first met you in 1968 in July.
I remember, Bob. I remember very well.
Well, yeah, you were a major then.
And you were a great star.
Yeah. And the men respected you.
And the men respected you, Bob.
And the men loved you.
And the men loved you, Bob.
And you don't look a day older. Didn't they teach you diplomacy at the Pentagon?
Diplomacy, yes. Dishonesty, no.
Just my luck. I have to meet an honest man.
Well, Bob, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, welcome back. I'm happy to be here. I wanted to be here because the USO really does a great job. They always get me a private foxhole, and I think it's wonderful. Thanks to the USO, I have some wonderful memories. Box lunches, yellow fever shots, and I've learned to say kale pectate in 7 languages. Now, I've been lucky, believe me. I've traveled for the USO with Raquel Welch, Ann Margaret, Lana Turner, the Gold Diggers, and a lot of beauty queens. And I'd do it again for my country. That's the way I am. You know, when I was in Vietnam about 25 years ago, a kid came up to me and he said, "You entertained my mother in Korea, my father in Korea." When I was in Beirut in 1984, a kid came up to me and said, "You entertained my grandfather in the South Pacific." Now, if anybody comes up to me and says that I entertained one of their relatives in the Civil War, I'm denying it. After all, there's no way it could have been me. I was in Philadelphia with Ronald Reagan signing the Constitution at that time. You know, for the past 50 years, every president of the United States has served as honorary chairman of the USO. It is now a great honor for me to introduce a president who was on the original board of directors and who has been a special friend of the USO for the past 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, President Ronald Reagan, right here.
Some guys are tougher to follow than others. But you know, many people in my generation refer to World War II as the last good war. But of course, there is no such thing as a good war. Only good men and women imbued with the love of liberty and the courage to defend freedom wherever it's imperiled. From Omaha Beach and Pork Chop Hill to Khe Sanh and Kuwait City, they have written their names in glory. They sought no conquest, they coveted no territory, As we've learned again from Operation Desert Storm, Americans are the most unselfish warriors the world has ever seen. This is a day dedicated to unselfishness, for this is a celebration of American volunteerism at its most generous. So today, we offer a world of thanks to an organization that has always made a difference. The USO has never forgotten our fighting men and women, and we can never forget the USO. I salute you.
I'm back again. Hey, I would just like to say before I introduce the next act that I am really proud to have been part of this homecoming tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. Our next guest has to be the busiest woman in town. She produces, she directs, she choreographs, she sings, she dances, and on a slow night, she takes tickets and sells popcorn. Her name is Debbie Allen, and we've got her fresh from her terrific work as choreographer on the Oscars. With her dances, Debbie is going to interpret Living in America, a record made famous by the great James Brown, another man who knows something about coming home. Would you please welcome Debbie Allen and her dancers.
continues with James Woods and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
When you want to say it, show it, or share it instantly, nothing works like Polaroid.
Paradise surrounds me. There's no place like this on land. All my cares there behind me. The world's in my command.
Come to a resort that's like no place on earth. Royal Caribbean, the grand resorts of the seven seas.
I can fix it so that every time you talk on the phone, you'll accomplish something. You'll help clear the air, the sea, and perhaps save a tree. Because Sprint will donate a percentage of your monthly long-distance phone bill to help clean up the environment. Is Sprint doing this to get your business? What difference does it make? They're doing it.
Born of the finest natural ingredients, then brewed and aged with extra care for that clean, crisp, cold taste. The taste only Budweiser can deliver. The king of beers.
Tuesday,
Let him go.
Gary's gone, but not forgotten.
How you doing?
He's haunting you.
I remember what you remember. And whatever you feel, I feel.
An all-new 30-something. Tuesday.
Wednesday, one of the season's best shows returns.
Are you hearing voices right now? A guy could go crazy in here.
Their hospital is a snake pit.
They killed one of my patients.
Gabriel's Fire, Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Woods.
We all learned a very valuable lesson in the Persian Gulf recently. The lesson was simply this: action speaks louder than words. Little lesson that Saddam Hussein learned rather well, didn't he, Mr. President? Thanks to you, sir. But sometimes words are the source of action. Such was the case with a woman named Linda Thompson Jenner.
She was sitting around in her kitchen one day during the early stages of the conflict, wondering what she could do as an individual to show her support for the troops of Desert Shield. She got the idea to write a song, and in very short order, the lyrics came to her.
And the lyric just flowed. I mean, I just thought, yeah, I could say this there, and this is where I could say that.
She called on her good friends, musician David Foster and Peter Cetera, to set it to music. Then David and Linda called a few friends to ask them to participate in a recording session of the song. Their friends were a very eclectic group. People like Kevin Costner, Meryl Streep, Mike Tyson, Will Smith, Henry Winkler, a most impressive list of celebrities in anyone's book.
Each of us came with varying motivations in politics. I, for example, thought of my father. My father, Major Gail Peyton Woods, was awarded the Purple Heart, the Presidential Citation of Bravery, and numerous campaign medals in World War II and Korea. He died in the service of his country, and for me, his memory was honored by every one of you, brave men and women in the Persian Gulf. I want to thank you.
By the day of the session, close to 100 artists, performers, sports figures, Americans, showed up at the recording studio to become part of an outpouring of love and support for our young men and women overseas, and to raise money for the USO and the Red Cross.
This is solely a message of love and compassion and empathy for the individuals in the Persian Gulf and for the families that they've left behind. And that's all we're trying to do here.
voices that care. And as you can see by the looks on the faces of the participants, we cared very much indeed.
Tonight, many loyal friends and volunteers of the USO join members of the original Voices That Care in tribute to all of you out there who are truly America's finest. Welcome home, America. We're really happy to have you back. One of the biggest motion picture stars in the world and the chairman of the President's Council on Fitness and Sports. And I got to tell you, you could have all stayed home. We could have just sent this guy over. Arnold Schwartzeneger.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I'm here to pump you up, that's for sure. Hasn't this been a exciting, fantastic, and very emotional show so far? I think the man that has produced this show should get a great hand. His name is George Slaughter. Give George a great hand. Come on. I got the greatest job this evening because I have the responsibility to introduce a couple that are very dear friends of mine, a couple that I have voted for. A couple that I love, honor, and obey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the President of the United States, George Bush, and Mrs. Bush.
James Michener ends his war novel, The Bridges of Toko Ri, by asking, where did we get such men? Well, I look out at these thousands of faces, veterans from World War II to the Persian Gulf, and all I can do is echo his admiration and pride. Where did we get such men and women? You know, the answer from the heart of America. You are the heart of America. And that's what the USO has known all these years. From the skies over Pearl Harbor to the skies over Kuwait, the USO has known what homesick, weary warriors have needed. Something very simple, a touch of home. The most important thing the USO has done for 50 years is to say to our troops, on behalf of America, hey, we miss you. We're thinking about you. We care about you. You can't be home with us, so we're sending a little bit of home to you. The USO sums up what's best about this nation, for the USO is made up of volunteers, there for the simplest, most loving reason of all, because they see a human need and want to help. The USO is family, the most important word in the American vocabulary. Our country's family, caring about and caring for each member. And the USO is America, showing the world the optimism, decency, and good-hearted generosity that fills this land from coast to coast. And even though today's USO is immense, my father would recognize it as the same organization that President Roosevelt asked him to help start in 1941. For 50 years, the USO has proven that you don't have to wear a star or a stripe to be your hero. Its volunteers have lifted the spirits and ennobled the hearts of generations of lonely kids abroad and their lonely families here at home. Well, for nearly 50 years, the man who has symbolized the caring of people back home has been Bob, Mr. USO Hope, traveling on behalf of all of us to comfort our sons and daughters. Bob has turned distant battlefields into tiny pieces of home. And so before we conclude tonight's celebration, I'd like to bring him out, the man who has spent so much of his life serving those who serve their countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Hope. It's my pleasure to present you with this Lifetime Achievement Award for service to the USO. It is for millions of grateful Americans that I say, thank you, Bob, and congratulations from us all. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well deserved. That's all for tonight. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to, it's pretty wonderful to get an honor like this after I'd played for the finest audiences I've ever known in my life all over the world. And let me tell you one thing. It's a delight to get it from you because you're probably the finest commander-in-chief I've ever known. Believe me. And you're doing nice, too. Just very right. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you all. Right. There's the battle, Bob. Thank you all.
President Bush. President Bush. I'd like to know, would you please join us? Would you please join us in the chorus of America the Beautiful? Oh.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
There's Sally. She's writing the history of vaudeville. There's Sandy, who's writing a book on TV comedy. And Kathy's doing an article on the love lives of men over the age of 95. Short article.
Why is George Burns making a list? Because he's joining friends and family from MCI. Now when he calls other MCI customers on his list, he saves an extra 20%. An extra 20% over the regular MCI savings.
O can sometimes be agony. Or O can be hope. O is always forever. Without O, there would be cameras, but no Olympus. Pictures, but no memories. And there would be no Infinity Super Zoom 330 to grab so many of the O's that make life so good. Olympus. Never miss another O.
Come rediscover American value at the National Dodge Sell-A-thon. Presenting some of the best Dodge deals ever. Total savings up to $4,370. Savings up to $4,200 on Ram pickups. Up to $1,700 on Shadow convertibles. Air conditioning at no extra charge on Caravans plus $500 cash back. And truck prices from under $7,500. But hurry, these deals can't last forever.
I'm Adrienne Albert. Next on the Weekend Edition, a nighttime excursion at the beach turns treacherous for 3 people. You'll see their rescue.
And I'm Herb Cawthorn. Some North County farm workers are caught in the middle of a violent fight. One man is dead and police are searching for the killer. That's all next on the Weekend Edition.
A $10 million Broadway blockbuster. Monday, meet the stars of Miss Saigon. Also, new kid Donnie Wahlberg on his troubles with the law.
Then later in the week, the joys of reading aloud. A word from First Lady Barbara Bush. Also, Demi Moore here on Good Morning America.
Welcome Home America has been brought to you by the Anheuser-Busch Companies, who proudly welcome home our returning troops. For all you do, we're proud of you. And Dodge for performance, quality, safety, and value. Welcome home, America. Continental thanks the USO for selecting it to provide transportation to Los Angeles for this salute to our armed forces. Continental, because one airline can make a difference. Accommodations provided by the Universal City Hilton Towers for gracious rooms and superb international cuisine in the heart of the entertainment industry, the Universal Hilton Towers. This is Johnny Grant for the USO.
Thursday, test your environmental IQ with the stars. Some of Hollywood's brightest stars have plans to bring you down to earth. Tom Selleck, John Ritter, Candace Bergen, Roseanne Barr, Bette Midler, and more take you through a user's guide to planet Earth, the American Environment Test. Later tonight, watch the ABC News Weekend Report over most of these ABC stations. America's watching ABC.
There are those who thirst for something different, something beyond the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
Many airlines offer reduced rate fares.
Unfortunately, that's not all they've reduced. It makes you wonder, what's next?
I'd appreciate it. Do you have 4 quarters for $1? Anybody have 2 quarters for $1? Yes, miss. Do you have 2 quarters for $2? 2 quarters for $5, please? Oh, boy, I'd appreciate it.
On Alaska Airlines, we have low fares, too, but you never know it by the way we treat you.
MC Hammer, rap star and Pepsi drinker. Well, today, we secretly replaced his Pepsi with Coke. Let's see what happens.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Hammer! Rob.
KGTV, San Diego. Adrian Alberts. Roland Stedham's weather. Rick Powers on sports. Now, the team that stands for San Diego. This is 10 News Weekend Edition.
A sunset hike down to Black's Beach proved to be a little more than expected for a trio of college students. Good evening. At 11 o'clock, one of the 3 slipped and fell on the steep cliff trail above the beach, injuring her ankle. Another student stayed with her while the 3rd, a young man, ran for help along the area known as Broadway Trail. Fire crews responded within minutes along with lifeguards, but the rescue was hampered by high tides on the beach. A Coast Guard helicopter was called in, and the plan was to lower the injured woman to the beach where she would be airlifted to the hospital.